Hi there. In this video, I'd like to show you how to use cardboard pieces to make a little loom and to weave yourself a friendship bracelet. They look pretty fancy, but they're very easy to make. It has a really cool little woven pattern, and it's super fun and addictive to make these. So here's the supplies you need. Piece of cardboard, something kind of stiff, a ruler, some kind of circle to trace. Your circle should be about 3 inches. You're gonna need something to trace with, hole punch, scissors, embroidery floss, and lots of time to play. So we're gonna start with a piece of cardboard. I took this off of the back of a tablet that I wasn't using anymore. I found this 3-inch jar lid. So 3-inch circle you need. Start by tracing the circle. It's not exactly 3 inches, so it'll be fine. Inside of a tape roll will work too, but that's a little small. Smaller than 3 inches. Then you cut out the circle. You can use the same loom over and over again, or you can cut a whole handful of these. It doesn't have to be super fancy. The thicker the cardboard, the longer they last. So now you want to find the center of the circle. So about 3 inches, I'm going to guess about here. About 3 inches, about here. So approximately that is the center of our circle. Okay, now you're going to want to draw lines across. One. So I divided it in half and in half again. And this doesn't have to be perfect, but try to be as close to symmetrical as you can. Half that and half that again. So you have 8 new lines. The center, you're going to want to take a hole punch. And this is a little tricky, but this is necessary to have your bracelet come out of there. So I had a small hole punch. You don't want the hole to be too big. You can always make it bigger later. And then you're going to want to cut into these areas here. This is what my looms are going to look like. The floral edges are just easier when you're weaving your bracelet, but you can leave it as a circle if you'd like. So now you want to cut into the loom, but leave about a 2-inch mark. Like, don't cut past these marks. So 1 inch on each side. Inch. So now I'm going to cut into the loom and stop about 1 inch away from the center. These cuts are going to hold the embroidery floss. And then I go and I round off the tips a little. This kind of gives it a little groove to where like when you're moving the thread, it kind of just slips over easily into the next one if you have these grooves. You can try it just as a circle and see if that works for you. And so now you have your little floral loom. And I'm going to stop there and do some labeling, just because this makes it a little easier. So with my Sharpie, I'm going to put some little arrows on here. It could be on either side, but I'm going to make sure that I'm going to weave counterclockwise. So I like to put these little arrows to remind myself which way I'm going when I'm weaving. So just to make sure you remember, the circle you're going to trace is 3 inches in diameter. So the circle is 3 inches. You're going to have a hole in the center, and then you're going to draw in half, in half, in half, in half. And then you measure about 1 inch from the center. And then that's where you cut into all the slits. And then when you're done cutting, if you round off the edges, it'll make it easier to weave. So that's our first part, is the loom.